Hello, this is Stuart Smith, STUARTIZM Designs LLC. We are at the Castle Fun Center in Chester, New York, doing a party room. Blacklight party room. It also can be utilized as 3D for special parties. And so they've already painted it black. I just want to let people know that they painted it a gloss black. So you gotta be a little bit more careful with your putting down your black primer to make your UV areas pop. You need to go a little thicker with it. In this particular instance, I did 2 layers on there to make sure we had good adhesion. You're not going to have any good things if your primer doesn't stick, because then your paint's not going to stick either. So we're going to just go through some photos here of black walls and getting things ready to go. Broken out bricks, dragons. We'll place in nebula and stars later on, and so instead of having this being individual murals, it's going to be one big mural all the way around. Lots for the kids to look at. Getting some of the color on, and this is going to be the first half. We're going to do the other portions on the second half. It just gets too long in the tooth. We're going to be concentrated on the one main wall, which is one of the main ones they see when they walk in the room. You're going to notice that I painted a dragon, had the stars up, and then Brian made a request for a little girl to sit there and be riding the dragon. So I turned it into a little fairy, goofy little princess, and that'll equate to the kids that are attending the birthday parties. And something I've never done before, but it was kind of neat. I got most of the color on. Right now, the red areas, I placed some orange in there for some highlights. Of course, the blue and green areas will recede. Just come along just fine. Been here 3 hours, almost 4. And we're getting her done. Now later on, when the detail starts, I'm covered in paint, obviously. When the detail starts, we're going to be able to sit there and really crisp these guys up. Areas like this, with that kind of blending with black, sort of against the background. This is where we're going to be able to start doing all of our nebula and stars. And we're also going to have silhouetted dragons that you can flying around the mountain, and we'll sit there, come along, and we'll highlight those in blues and greens so they really stand out nice. We're going to have the most in the background. I'm trying to do some red ones that really spark, because our red comes forward, remember. Green is mid-tone, blue recedes. So we're going to have to be careful when we sit there and have dragons come along here, that we really make them spark. So whatever we do to this, brightens it, darken it down just slightly in those areas. We most likely will come along here and I'm going to put some mist and fog, so that should turn out pretty nice. We have our head. He's going to have a closed mouth again. We're dealing with children, so gotta keep it, kosher. Neck comes up. Nice thing about 3D is we got some of these spikes that are going to be coming out of there. So it's just not resting against the body. The wings are behind, and then they spread out. Later on, you'll see that the photographs that are red is there, and on the other side, back of the body, and this is the back of the neck. So we have our green against blue that will stand up pretty nice, and the tail pops out here and comes around here. So later on, when we sit there and do our highlights and our detail, we're going to sit there and separate these. So not only are we going to have it 3D as far as the color, we're also going to have it as far as where we place our black and our shadows. Right. We have the colors down, and you know what that means. It is time for some hot detail action. Try to ignore that you're painting on a brick wall. I know the ins and outs and the shadows of the black light is somewhat irritating, but you'll get to learn that you paint what has been given to you. And even though a flat wall is best when it comes to 3D application or doing black light, you're gonna have to sit there and work with what's been given. And so sometimes with this, you gotta lay on the colors a little thicker. You're going to be fighting the shadows, small microscopic shadows of all the ins and outs of your brick wall. And so the more paint on there, the less probably going to have resistance to the black light. I also sit there and dictated that he sit there and place the black lights in the center of the room facing directly on. That will help with all the shadows that are created by the mortar areas and by the indentations on the bricks. Alright, I've already reached the stage on one wall where we have all the colors detailed out. The brick formations, the dragon, the other brick formation on the other side. Got our detailed shadowing. And I've even come along and done what some people have seen in the past is spritz a little black. So you take the gun and put your finger in front of it, lower it down, and just spritz black. That gives some texture to the bricks. Gives more texture to the creature itself. Rather than having to put it all in with the airbrush. It's quick and easy, 30 seconds, and you got some areas of interest beyond just using the airbrush. Then we also blended in the blacks and shadowed it, which puts the wing behind the brick wall for the 3D effect. Now I'm giving Brian a choice. I painted up as 3D, and he can have a great party in here just as a blacklight room. Blacklight party, it's huge. We do it a lot for laser tags around the country. Obviously, this is not what I normally do because he wants the dragons a little bit happier than each up to young, okay? So, but it's still going to have a cool effect. But also, as an added benefit and possibly an extra price tag, he can sit there and add in 3D glasses. So we're also going to be painting up the tables in 3D. So while the kids are eating their cake, they're going to have 3D on there, and they look at it too long, they might barf it up, but hey, look, that's just making memories, okay? So now we're going to be starting the highlights. I'm waiting for the flat black that I used in the gravity feed spray gun that I came along and I shadowed in certain areas. I spritzed that black, we got to let that dry, and then it's time for highlights and to do the nebula and stars behind it. And that'll just make it pop. And then for the first day, we've colored the whole room. We got our white primer on, colored the whole room, and we have detailed out one large wall, And hopefully, before Brian comes back from his meeting, we will sit there and have it highlighted, and it will be a finished product on one side, and then we'll start again early in the morning. I hope you've enjoyed this video. You can see that, in your style, you sit there and create some really nice stuff for a party room. This room took 2.5 days, had some drying issues, but it was really easy to do. Later on, you'll see how we had to tone some things down. We have 4-year-olds all the way up to 16-year-olds that are going to be using this party room, so sometimes you gotta bite your lip and sit there and say, okay, you're going to have to sit there and make it age appropriate. And I think the kids are going to enjoy this. Some will get scared, but hey, that's just par for the course. And we will see you on the next video when we handle other portions of the room. Take care and God bless.
Tell them what time it is.
It's killer time. Mr. Bam Bam, protect the border.